Hey guys, welcome back to SamaKaze. Um, I haven't been on here because I've been having some issues with my mental health. I'll address that in a future update. But today I want to talk about something that's been going on in the VTuber community over the last week or so over on X. And it started with a post by a man named Trevor Sheets, who was celebrating his marriage to his wife and how she had been formerly promiscuous, whereas he was a virgin. Then she was radically born again, committed to church, evangelized constantly, Puritan books in her bedroom, prayer journals, and grief over past sins, etc. And so he made this post basically sharing a little bit of her testimony with her permission, I might add, and the entirety of um self-righteous Christian, quote unquote Christian Twitter or X went nuts just over this post. We have several um, quote retweet quote posts about the about how supposedly she is a um damaged woman, that she would never be acceptable for a real Christian man, blah blah blah. Um, he shouldn't have shared that because um, he's basically calling his wife a hoe, all these things. And no, he was just sharing something dear to both of them about how God has radically transformed her from being the woman she used to be to how she is today. And I want to say something about that because I can very well be lumped into that. Oh, well, you never really changed group of people, because while my past may not have sexual sin in it, it has drunkenness, it has drug addiction, it has self-harm, it has um porn addiction, it has lots of different things in that story that could very well label me as damaged goods, just because in the minds and the eyes of these self-righteous um pontificators, they think that just because your past isn't squeaky clean, that you must not be the kind of Christian that you should be. And there are a couple of people that have responded to this and really made it clear that this is a wonderful thing that has been shown, that yes, while you may have not been the perfect person before, that Jesus can take your mess and turn it into a message. Um, One of my friends on X posted this in a quote retweet. He said, "I am legit going to be sharing my testimony in solidarity, but also because sharing our testimonies is something God tells us to do. To the Pharisees who used a single post to reveal how easily they are sifted like wheat and that they lack biblical understandings, the call to openly share testimonies that are meant to uplift and encourage men and women in the church, shame on you. I hope you come to truly know the biblical Christ, not your opinionated Build-A-Bear version of him that was concocted in your minds." And I think this is an important thing. Um, I think this is a really important distinction to make, that we are so close to apostasy when we think that Jesus is not going to redeem people of a certain background, of a specific history, just because that history makes us uncomfortable. And that's the rub. That's the rub. It's not that there is necessarily anything more wrong about what this woman did in her past before she was saved than what happened in my past before I was saved, or before what happened in your past when you were saved, even though you might not have done anything that either of us have done, and you might have been squeaky clean. But the thing is, under the law, here's a wonderful thing about the law. I will actually go to Galatians chapter 5, and we're going to read this because I think it's important. It says, no, wait, no, chapter 4, I think. No, okay. Where is it? Uh, no, Galatians 3, that's it. That's it. I was in the wrong chapter. All right, so it says here, the law and the promise. Um, verse 19 of chapter 3 in Galatians, it says, why then was the law given at all? It was added because of transgressions until the seed, that is Jesus, to whom the promise referred to had come. The law was given through angels and entrusted to a mediator. A mediator, however, implies more than one party, but God is one. Is the law therefore opposed to the promises of God? Absolutely not. For if a law had been given that could impart life, then righteousness would certainly have come by the law. But Scripture has locked up everything under the control of sin, so that what was promised, being given through faith in Jesus Christ, might be given to those who believe. So here's the thing, the law was never going to save us. The law is not what saves you. Following the rules, being a good, squeaky clean Christian is not what saves you. What saves you is your faith. And so the fact that these men, and it's unfortunately mainly men that are making posts like this, calling her out, making her into this horrible harlot type person in their minds. They're creating a caricature of Scripture, a caricature of Christianity by saying that because you were not the squeaky clean person that we think you should have been, you don't qualify for grace. You don't qualify for healing. You don't qualify for redemption because in our minds, you're not enough. How dare you? How dare we? How dare any of us? How dare I judge somebody else based on a criteria that maybe even I don't fully match up to, because I don't. I'm not perfect. I'm not righteous. No, I am not. I might have a different kind of faith from you, but believe you me, as many people have told me, I wish I had your faith. Your faith. I wish I had the level of faith you have. I want to tell them, no, you don't, because the thing is, the way I got it was through extreme trial and error. And you do not want to have to go through the pain that I went through just to get to this point. Believe me. So, um, don't, I guess the lessons for today are, number one, don't judge others because you don't know what they've been through. Second of all, um, take the log out of your own eye before you take the speck out of someone else's. That might be scripture somewhere. And number three, shut up about people's purity. Instead, work on your own heart, because obviously, if you're so focused on their purity, then your purity must not look that great. Because I know mine wasn't when I did that stuff. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you, and I'll see you again soon.